Okay, students. They spelled okay wrong again. Well, technically it's not spelled wrong, but still. Why not use the word okay? Okay, let's continue. She said, I have graded everyone's tests and everyone got an A+ but one person. Who the fuck is that idiot? Yelled Patty Mayonnaise. Patty Mayonnaise? They even made Patty Mayonnaise a swearing bimbo? Oh my god, could the story get any worse? That fucking idiot is Doug Funny. Wow, I didn't see that coming. Now everyone point and laugh at the fucking retard. Wow, very charming, are they? Everyone began pointing and laughing, especially Patty. But, Ms. Wingo, how could I have failed? I watched Romeo and Juliet at my house every day after school. The movie was Romeo and Juliet, you shithead. Is this story trying to piss me off? Because it's doing a very good job doing it, said Miss Wingo. Oh, I was wondering why none of the questions had the word fuck in them. Huh? Now, Doug, you go over and sit in the dunce corner. What the hell does dunce mean? Once Doug stood up, he peed his pants. What, does he have a bladder control problem? Everyone began to laugh once again. Once Doug was in the corner, he was pissed. Why must I be the laughingstock of this school? Why me? Why me? He began to think of how he could get revenge on everyone. That's the end of paragraph 2. Let's move on to paragraph 3. When school was over, Doug went back to his house and began to brainstorm about how he would exact his revenge. He had finally created the perfect plan and would put in effect the next day. The next day, well, that was quick, Doug got up extra early and made his way towards the school. When he reached school, he quietly went into Mrs. Wingo's room and went inside. Miss Wingo turned around and said to Doug, What the fuck are you doing here this early, bitch? Well, I figured I would get here early to try and better myself. Whatever, said Miss Wingo. Just shut your fucking mouth. When Miss Wingo turned back around and started to write on the chalkboard, Doug went over to her desk and pulled out her steel dildo from one of the drawers. He went over to Miss Wingo and said, Oh, Miss Wingo. She turned around and said, I told you to be fucking quiet. With that, Doug beat her until she died. Hot damn, that felt good, Doug said out loud. He then started to have some fun with her mutilated corpse. They put quotations around the word fun. I don't think I want to know what he did to her. Let's continue. He then quickly left the room before class started. The bell finally rang for class to start. Once everyone got into the classroom, they all noticed the barbaric discovery, with a little note on it saying Sweeney Todd was here. Hurry, har, har. Holy shit, they all said in unison. Well, except for Doug. And none of them find this suspicious at all. We need to get Mr. Bone down here right now. About 1 minute later, Mr. Bone was in the room. Now what do you little fuckers want? They all pointed at the dead Mrs. Wingo. Holy titty knockers, he yelled. What the hell happened to that bitch? She was murdered, said Patty in a sad voice. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Now, how would you know this, you little slut, he said. Well, can't you tell? She was all beaten and bloody. That sounds like something the murderer might just say. He then pulled out a knife and shanked the little bitch till she died. Now, I will bring you all to my office one by one. We'll figure out who did this. Everyone had gone into his office except for Doug and Skeeter. Why hasn't anyone come back yet? Asked Skeeter. I don't know, but it's a little weird, Doug said, lying. Just then, over the intercom, Mr. Bone said, Skeeter, bitch tits, please report to my office. Skeeter was off, and Doug was now by himself. My, how well this is working out, Doug thought. He sat in a desk and waited for his name to be called over the intercom. Just then, Doug heard, Doug, sweet ass funny, please report to my office, from the intercom. Doug made his way up to the office and walked in. "Please sit down, Douglas," Mr. Bone said. "I really want to thank you for helping me out in my time of need," said Doug. "Well, that's what boyfriends are for, right?" I thought that Doug and Skeeter were supposed to be boyfriends. "Okay, let's just continue," replied Mr. Bone. "Oh, yeah," said Doug. They then began to make out on his desk when Mr. Bone's ex-boyfriend, Charles Butt Savage, came in with an AK-47. "Why did you leave me, you asshole?" yelled Charles. Before Mr. Bone could reply, he blew Mr. Bone away. He then raped Doug to death. Charles then left the body, and nobody cared. Oh well, good riddance, the end. What the fuck was this? What the fuck was this? I don't know what to say. I honestly don't. This story is just... Okay. I thought that Mr. Dink's obsession was a complete what the fuck moment, but I think this tops it by like a billion. Okay, one issue with this story... Well, I already pointed that out in the beginning of the story, before I even started reading, the layout. Another issue, all the characters are out of character and it makes no sense. Another issue, this story jumps all over the place and is over the top. I can't even say it's really over the top violent. The only reason why this story got an M rating was because the F-bomb was dropped in there like a bunch of times. You know what? Let's count and find out how many times the F-bomb has been used in this story. Okay, I just scanned through the story to count how many times variations of the word fuck showed up, and this is the number I got. 17 times! What the hell? I mean, seriously, what the hell? This is just awful. This story, in general, is awful. Awful. Awful, awful, bad, awful crap. That's all I can say. That really is all I can say. Well, I'm the FanFic Critic. I read it, you listen. I'm out of here. I was frozen today.